Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Join with me. La 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 la, la 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 la. We're warming up the room for you. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Wow, what a wonderful way to come into Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. That was such a joyous way to enter, I think, for our very first Shabbat of 2020. Let's take a nice deep breath of Shabbat air. And let's think about this past week where we straddled two different years, 2019, 2020. Think about our hopes and aspirations for the coming year, all the things we hope will leave this world, and all the things that we hope will come into it. And let's take a nice deep breath, bringing all of those into our lives, into our bodies, into this room. It's really quite something to come together in a normal Shabbat service in a normal week that wasn't so normal. Turn to the person next to you and just say something remarkable about this past week. Maybe your hopes and dreams for the new year. Maybe where you were, something remarkable that happened in your life. All right. We got it. I love it. You were so nice and calm. That was wonderful. We are going to welcome the angels of Shabbat. This is one of my favorite Shabbat songs, Shalom Aleichem. It's on page 142. And we welcome them in so that we can relax fully on Shabbat. And also that we can really take this time on this first Shabbat of the new year to really be ourselves, be present here today.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ochel Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon. ביתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. בי מלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Oh, to the ministering angels, the messengers of God, majesties of majesties, Holy One of the Blessed One. So we're going to turn to our candle lighting, which is on page 120. And I'd like to invite up two people that I just met this past Jewish year, I guess, Andy and Charlene, to light our candles, if it's okay, because you helped to light our community. So just the candle, the matches are right there. And hopefully they work correctly. So we'll help them with the blessing I told on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu
Lehadlik ner, Shabbat. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who sanctifies us through commandments and commands us to light our Shabbat candles. If you could lift the Kiddush cup over there, and Kiddush is on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahavahu bratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim, to life, and if you so choose, hopefully it's a good vintage. Mazel tov. And to a blessed year, l'chaim. Oh, thank you. You're the first person that offered that. Appreciate that, l'chaim. I wish we're going to have champagne later. Thank you very much. Andy was telling me he learned a new Yiddish word, and I figured out what it was. It's Hamish. So Hamish is one of those, see, it's really good to know multiple languages because every language has its own flavor. Hamish is a wonderful word. It does not really translate in English very well. It's kind of like down to earth, I guess I would. Homey is probably the best translation. It's a wonderful word, and if anyone says that about Shir Shalom, I take that as a big compliment. So, why don't we turn to welcome in the Shabbat bride on page 138. We'll sing the first three verses together, And then on the 9th verse, that final verse on 139, we rise, face the doorway, we bow to the Shabbat bride as she comes in the room, and then we welcome each other into this space by wishing each other Shabbat Shalom.
לך דודי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה נקבלה. שמוע וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המאוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו
Do you know what that sound is right there? That's the sound of one community. We came in as strangers, perhaps, or maybe lifelong friends or even cousins, but now we are all one community, a unique community that only gathers tonight, because every single Shabbat we have a different community. With that in mind, I invite you to rise, page 146. Sorry I didn't catch you in time for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu.
Try with me. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Moreku et Adonai hamivorach, Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam vaed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Page 149, I think the second reading is perfect for 11:59 of New Year. So let's read that with that in mind. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 150, we're filled with love for one another, for God, ahavat olam.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadita. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu v'komeinu nasiach b'chukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 152, 153.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch shekevod malchuto leolam vaed. Baruch shekevod malchuto leolam vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. Page 154. Lil, would you like to? We love it when you lead. I don't mean to embarrass you, but you do such a wonderful job. Page 154. Thank you for being a good sport.
V'ahavta
Adonai Elohecha, V'kol Mecha, Uvehon Ashecha, Uvehon Meodecha, V'hayu Hadvarim Ha'ele, Asher Elohim Mitzavecha, Hayom Al Levavecha, V'shinatam Livanecha, V'divatam Ban, V'shivtecha V'techa, Uletecha B'derech, U'shatecha U'kumecha, U'shatam Leo Ayadecha, V'hayu Tafo B'neinecha, U'shatam Al Mizzovetecha, U'visharecha, Man Tiseru, Atiten Ekonim Tatai, Diten Tiyoshi, Leohehen, Ani, Adonai Elohim, Asher Hotzektiahem, Meretz Milayim, Liotnahem, Anohim, Ani, Adonai Elohim.
Oh, man. We're going to turn to the Crossing of the Sea, page 158, encouraging all of us to take chances with our lives, to do things maybe that make us uncomfortable in this new year, and to learn and to grow as we should do whatever age we are. Page 158.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamo chaba edi Adonai. Mi kamo kame dama kodesh. Norati hilo kosefele. Norati hilo kosefele. Malachut zikara uvanecha. Makia yami fimoshi. Zeli anu v'ameru. Zeli anu v'ameru. Adonai hilo le'olam va'ed. Adonai hilo le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la ya la la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la.
Baruch atah Adonai Gaal Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, Redeemer of Israel. I invite you to rise for the tefillah, page 164. We'll do the first few pages out loud, all the way through page 170. We start on 164. Thank you.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מקיים הכל, אתה רב והושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מקיים הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידה מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקיים הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue quietly with our own thoughts and prayers through page 180, and whenever you're ready, you may be seated. As we turn to our prayer for peace on page 180, Oseh Shalom, I think this is a time we really need it so much in our hearts. Let's pray with our full sense of who we are. Send that out there. Maybe it'll make a difference in this world. We could always use peace, but I think we could use it more, particularly right now.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, b'romam. Oh, say shalom, b'romam. Huyase shalom. Huyase shalom. Huyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
That's beautiful. Where's that melody from? Is that, you haven't sung that here before? I don't
No,
think.
not here. I used to do it all the time. Not here,
Wonderful.
though.
It's perfect for tonight, I think. So you feel that feeling right now? There's a feeling that I get when I come in here. This is my home. I hope this is your home. Some of you, this might be your first time even here. But there's something about this space that it's safe and that we could be ourselves here. When this space was conceived some 60 years ago, it was to show the suburban world here, this was called the suburban synagogue, that it's okay to be Jewish in Williamsville. I had an interesting conversation this week that really blew my mind. It happened at Wegmans, which is probably the place where the most interesting conversations happen. Wegmans has a philosophy of moving all their things around. Do you notice that anytime you like, they don't want you to get too used to anything? And so you'll think, oh, I know how. My wife will send a list of things, some of them pretty obscure. And I'll think, okay, I know where that section is. And lo and behold, you'll go to that section. It's no longer there, right? Have you had that experience, right? That's actually a corporate policy of theirs. And I never really understood it because it kind of makes customers upset not to, it's much easier if you can find what you're looking for. But part of it is they don't want you to get too used to things. They want you to still see things new. And so I was on my journey in Wegmans this week. I was looking for applesauce, and very basic thing. And they used to have it in several sections, and now they moved it to its own applesauce section. But as I was looking, there was a gentleman that came over to me. This was Thursday morning. I was about to head over to Weinberg right afterwards. And he said, "You are so very brave." He came up to me. I thought, what did I do? Is it brave because I'm shopping? What in particular? I had no idea what he was talking about, but I just had a sense that maybe I should explore. What exactly was this gentleman? I've never seen him before in my life. What is he saying that I'm the bravest human being? So he said I was brave because I was wearing a kippah. It was very interesting. I was talking to this person who has a very strong Jewish identity, but isn't connected. He's lived in Buffalo, I think, most of his life, but he wasn't connected to any Jewish institution. And the events that have been going on, particularly the ones in New York that we've seen over the last month, there were 12 incidents in New York this past month, have upset him so much. he's afraid to show his Jewishness. And it was so interesting to talk to this gentleman because he wasn't the type of person, it wasn't a person that I would say wears his Jewishness. He's not in a lot of Jewish spaces, I wouldn't gather, and it wouldn't be someone I would say should be necessarily afraid. He didn't look, quote unquote, Jewish. There wasn't anything about him. But for him, he felt he had to hide. And that made me very sad. It made me sad in the same way when I was called earlier in the week by a reporter at Channel 2 to talk about what was going on. Channel 4, yeah, thank you, Nancy. Get them all confused. So I was called and we talked right here in the sanctuary. It was empty and we were just looking for a space to talk on a quiet day. And she shared with me about the different incidents, and I realized that something had changed. I didn't realize how much it had changed until my wife put the news article on her Facebook feed, and she wrote about how she was afraid that her husband, me, was going to be interviewed about this, and she was afraid that I was a rabbi and being Jewish. And she hadn't expressed that to me before. I hadn't known that she was feeling that way. I was feeling a little bit of the unease, but I didn't realize how it was hitting people. Emotions are kind of funny like that, right? They sit below the surface, and we don't always realize, we can't always name how we're feeling. And this has been ongoing. It hasn't started in the past month. This is something that we've noticed, I personally have talked about here over the last couple of years, and I think most of you probably, this is something that you've been dealing with in your own lives, this new reality, this sense of braveness of showing outward Judaism. And I love, by the way, I was looking at Erwin's sweater here. I'm sorry, Erwin. I don't mean to can you just stand up for a second? I don't know if everyone can see this sweater. I don't know if Myrna had made this for you, but this is a sign of outward Judaism. Do you see? It's very subtle. You wouldn't necessarily notice it, I think, but those in the tribe, they come over and they can see. And those are the kind of examples of things that come out. And it's interesting, this week's Torah portion is really the first time our ancestors fully confronted being in a place where they didn't feel at home. The early ancestors, starting with Abraham and Sarah, and Isaac and Rebekah, they're mostly living on their own, and Jacob as well. They're living in among their clan. The first person to leave the clan fully is Joseph, right? And Joseph is forced to leave. He's sold into slavery by his brothers, ends up in jail, almost in very perilous conditions. And we watch his journey until last week he ascends to the top of Egypt, right? He becomes the viceroy, the second in charge in all of Egypt. And he has this incredible stature. And we gather, although we don't know, we can't ask Joseph, that this has meant him compromising. He now needs to look like an Egyptian. Sorry, I was reading about how on my year of my bar mitzvah, that song was the popular song, Walk Like an Egyptian. But in actuality, and I learned this in our group, we have Dottie Brooks in our Saturday morning group, and she's a UCC minister, and she brought in an article from Archaeology Today that talked about there was actually a different look for Canaanites, people from Judea, where our ancestors were from, in Egypt. They didn't look the same, and they're actually pictured in hieroglyphics differently. They actually looked a little like Mo from the Three Stooges. They had this, it's not a kippah, they had like their hair kind of like in a helmet shape. And it's actually drawn like that in the hieroglyphics. And we can imagine that Joseph actually had to change his look to actually fully be Egyptian. We have a moment which we think of one way, but I think the stakes were so much higher. So this is the moment that Cantor will read about in just a couple minutes, where Judah finally makes a request to save Benjamin, to save the brothers. Remember, Joseph has been playing games with them, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor. You've seen the Broadway version, right? So they finally are at that moment, and Joseph realizes he has to reveal himself to his brothers. And there's a lot at stake because he's been keeping a very big distance. His brothers don't know him. But the very first thing that Joseph does before anything else is he clears the room. These were very open rooms. There was a lot of eavesdropping. This is like the image of the shtetl or the kibbutz, where everyone knows each other's business. But certainly, that's what it's like among a king and queen, in a palace. Everyone kind of is right there, right on top of you. And so he clears the room. And as soon as he clears his room to tell his brothers the secret, he's not able to actually speak. All that comes out is this cry. And we can picture this. This is this anguished cry when there's no other words. It's just a cry when you can't even say anything. The brothers, of course, are stunned. But more importantly, for Joseph, Egypt, all of Egypt, including Pharaoh's house, hears his cry. Suddenly, he has to reveal himself to this group, this Egyptians, this outside group. He has to show them his true identity. And there's a credible amount at stake. He could be thrown back in jail. He could be, killed. Who knows what's going to happen? And we know the end of the story, which is that Pharaoh fully embraces him. It's not for many years different pharaohs that come where the Jews are treated differently, or the Judeans, we should say. But in this moment, he was so afraid to reveal his own identity, and when he does, it's very cathartic. It's okay. That's what we all kind of long for. We want that moment where it's okay to say, I am Jewish, I am proud, I'm here at my synagogue, or I'm out on the way, and it's okay that everyone else got our back. That this is, that we don't have to be afraid, that we can feel fully ourselves. That's what we all kind of long for. So I introduced this because on Monday, the American Jewish Committee, which is the oldest Jewish advocacy group going back to 1909 in this country, and it is promoting something that on Monday you should take a picture of yourself doing something Jewish, whatever it is. It might not even be an official Jewish thing. But you put a little logo. You said, Jewish and proud, basically, a hashtag. I still don't know what a hashtag is fully. I have to learn how to use them. I have to talk to Alexa. So not the program, Alexa over at University of Buffalo. Sorry. There's this opportunity to do this. So I want you to take just a minute, think about what you are going to do. What is that picture going to look like? How are you going to take that picture? And if you can't send it out yourself, we'll send it out for you. Send it to me, to my cell phone, if you'd like. Let's get as many of us to send these kind of pictures out. Because I think if we go into this space and we can feel that pride, maybe it'll get past that fear that we have. So turn to the person next to you. I did that before. And think about have a little conversation. What are you going to do? And Cantor already started us off, by the way. She had herself singing beautifully. I think it was from the concert. All right, any good ideas that you want to express? Erwin, are you going to wear that sweater?
I don't know. Thinking of wearing it now.
Next time now you're going to take a picture in front of the kosher section and
The kosher section of Wegmans. I love it. That's the perfect thing. Say Wegman. What's that? Yeah, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can send it to us and we can post it. Or just go out and have pride. I realize not everyone's comfortable with the social media world yet. Oh, a picture, an older picture in front of the Wailing Wall. Oh, lighting Shabbat candles with grandkids. Love it.
Hearing us wearing a tallis.
Wearing a tallis together. So we're going to give everyone an opportunity to do it right now because we have our Torah service. And I think it would be good let's actually come up, show our pride if you're able. I know we have the obstacle of our Bima steps here, but if you are able, come up. We can take even a picture with your phone or with someone else. And this will be part of our Jewish pride that we have here. So let's take that into the Torah service, which is on, someone's going to tell me, Harvey, what page is it on? 366, okay. So we're going to turn to 366, and I'm going to invite who here has not had a chance to carry the Torah before, who wants to carry the Torah around our community. It's not a heavy one. Sheila wants to do it. So come on up, Sheila. And whoever wants to open the ark, too. These are the little things. This is our home. Let's embrace it. Oh, Linda and Sheila are going to do it together. I love it. Please rise as we begin the service. 364. 364. So both of you come and we're going to do the Shema together. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol like to invite up Harvey Horowitz and anyone that would like to come up. Come on. I think this week we need to dispel this bad feeling. We need to feel it. So come on up. Come on up. We can feel the weight of Judah's speech here. Getting there. One of the things you'll notice as you come over here, this is a very unusual section. There are no breaks. Usually the way you can tell in the Torah, Joseph's story is a little different than other things. You see how there's no indentations at all? Over a huge amount of time, okay?
There we are.
We have it already.
Yep.
Oh, by you gosh, there we go. Okay, that's the first break, the entire Miketz. Okay, so I'm going to get you the blessing over here. So if anyone would like to come over and touch the Torah, we do have.
Hold on to the Eitz
Sherry
Chaim.
Or touch, you can touch this.
The Eitz Chaim. Eitz Chaim, everybody. Or touch the person that's touching the Eitz Chaim.
Do that.
I'm a good conductor.
Yamdu kol kila. All the kila shall rise. Baruch Adonai Habarach. Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher bachar mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayigash elav Yehuda Vayomer Bi'adoni Yidaberna Atacha Davar Ve'oznei Adoni Va'alicha Abecha Be'avdecha Ki Chamocha Kefaro Adoni Sha'al Et Avadav Lemor Hayesh Lachem Ab O Ach Vanomer what's that? Vanomer El Adoni Yesh Lanu Av Zaken V'Yer Zikunim Katan V'Achiv Meid Vayivater Levado Le'imo Ve'aviv Ahevo.
Hold on. What we just heard was Judah talking to Joseph. He doesn't know it's his brother, telling about his old father and the child that was killed that was Joseph. Okay, so hold on. They still believe he's dead at this point. And we hold on. Let's hold each other, I guess. We'll try to, and I'll hold this up here. And I'm touching the Torah, okay? Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah v'Rachel v'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Bless all those gathered here today with the strength to feel their identity that goes back generations and generations. May they feel pride in their Judaism or in their connection to the Jewish community. May they never feel fear. May they feel comfort in each other. And may they go out in this world and make it a better place. And we say, Amen. Yesher koach. Thank you. Be very careful. My fear is on the way down.
Always.
Going up?
Now you guys are scared.
Bless.
There are handles on the side.
You better holding on the left side of the right. You need to be Jewish in the face of fear.
Wonderful. We're going to turn now to our prayer for healing, which is on page 370 in our prayer book. Part of the consequence of what happened on the last night of Hanukkah, actually where Cantor actually was living in the area before she
Half a
came here.
mile from where the incident happened.
Yeah. So part of the consequence, there's one of the individuals whose name happens to be Joseph, is in critical condition. So we're going to send our prayers his way and to that whole community. But we also are going to list the people that we're thinking about here tonight. We'll go around. If you have others, we'll have a chance to say those names. Chad Ayers, Grace Bluestone, Kathy and Chris Crawford, Bobby DeBruin, Roxanne Cohn, Cindy Lieber, Charlotte Krebs, Joe Morris, Carol Silverman, Flora Snee, Andy Wozniak, Andrew Zubek, Avraham Ben Moshe, Sarah Bat Chaya, and Malka Bat Naftali. We'll go around.
Judy Goldstein and Paul Zimmerman. White House. Richard Dr. James Senior.
Dick Fair.
Jerry Waller.
Billy Moore, John Lewin.
Denny Berkowitz, Lauren Bush.
Tim Woods.
Erica Horowitz.
Rabbi? Is this RLA Shapiro from Temple Sinai? Who is it? One in the flyer? Who is it? Is this RLA Shapiro from Temple Sinai?
We're praying for hope for yard side. We're doing healing. We take all of those names into our hearts and all the people we're thinking of, including people here, including ourselves. And we will sing the words from Debbie Friedman and Drora Settle, the Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
A complete healing on body and soul. So we're going to lift our Torah now. And we had someone here whose son just had his wedding. Mac, would you like to come lift the Torah? I'll help you. Are you up for it or no? Sorry. That's okay. I had another opportunity. I was thinking of Linda and Sheila. I'll help you guys. You up for lifting it? We'll say Mazel Tov to Mac anyways. Mazel Tov. All right, so come over here. And Yoni, I think we're going to need you too. We're going to rise with the Torah. we need someone also to, they're going to carry it together. Maybe what we'll do is you want to carry the top of it?
Yeah, good idea.
And maybe to do the. We remain standing as the ark is opened.
Those that hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. It is the tree of life. To those that hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. Ba-da-da-da, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
And we remain standing for Aleinu, page 586. 586.
Aleinu nishabeach l'Adonai, l'Adonai yosef rishit, she'osam lo ye'asot, ve'osam shmot ha'adama, she'osam v'tinu bahem, ve'gam aleinu kechal hamonam.
Page 591. So now we're going to close the curtains and the gates. Just watch your fingers. You may be seated. We're going to turn now to the mourner's Kaddish. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with the community in Muncie with their terrible loss that was inflicted this past week. We're also thinking about Rose Bulowski, Marianne Goldstein, Sandra Larke Kloman, and David Majeski, all who died in the past 30 days. Our thoughts go out to the family members, and may their memories be for a blessing. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Jerome Bloomberg, Anna Bress, Sherwood Brown, Samuel Burstein, Albert Kallistein, Louis Chertoff, Max Tillman Cohen, Nathan Cohen, Gilbert Corris, Anita Foster, Rosalind Gabin, Eva H. Gale, Daniel Gelman, Dr. Jacob Gilden, Benarta Glickman, Fanny Gordon, Max Gross, Jacob Hare, David H. Hirsch, Henrietta Hirsch, Bertha Horowitz, Marcia Horowitz, Ada Cariff, Mary Kempner, Sydney Zion Clayman, Ben Crone, Sophie Lattis, Margaret Lansing, Ralph W. Levinson, Carolyn Pickard Lewin, Nathaniel Lewis, Tony Lillian, Rachel Marks, Lucy Marks, June A. Mindell, Nathan Nyman, Matilda Nosnitsky, Miriam Rakin Kolb, Molly Roth, Rose Kaiser Rubin, Sam Rudolph, Belle Shapiro, Adolpha Shire, Elliot Shapiro, David A. Simon, Lester S. Simon, Bess Sokolsky, Anna Steinberg, Sarah Schwartz, Melvin Tasman, Martin A. Tufts, Philip Umoff, Elaine Weinman, Isidore Weiss, Israel Willig, Gregory Wolpin, and Isaac Zisman. We'll go around if you have other names to say. Page 598, all those whose custom it is to rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalmad yivrach irate v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah v'rach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'rechu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehi shlom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav Yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru, amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all the world, to which we say amen. You may be seated. Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. I'd like to turn to Joanne Marquesi, our synagogue executive director extraordinaire, to give the announcements. While she's on her way up here, just letting you know, this past week in New Jersey, you might have noticed they finished the Talmud study. It's called Daf Yomi, a 7-year cycle. If you want to get in, it starts on Sunday. I'm doing it with a Reconstructionist group. If you're interested, it would just be something in your email every day. But I encourage you, if you were interested, and 7 years from now, you could be in one of those stadiums in New York City.
Shabbat Shalom and Happy New Year. A very special thank you to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Paul Staley for a lovely service in honor of Shabbat. There is Torah study on Saturday morning at 9 a.m., followed by the Shabbat morning service at 11, and both events will be at Canterbury Woods. Bingo is back on Monday night at 7:30 p.m., doors open at 6:30. Please join us. Queen of Hearts is almost $5,000. Please join us next Friday for Erev Shabbat services at 7 p.m. And Rabbi Alex started an adult B'nai Mitzvah class.
And Harvey.
Pardon?
We're all part.
Okay, yes. Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Harvey Horowitz started a new adult B'nai Mitzvah class, which will lead to an adult B'nai Mitzvah service in May on Shavuot. It is a very meaningful experience to share the journey with your friends and family at Shir Shalom, so if you're interested, please let one of them know. The men's group is very proud to announce their next speaker, Dr. Gail Bernstein. The Erie County Commissioner of Health will speak about the opioid epidemic on Sunday, January 12th. Men and women are both welcome. Please RSVP to Dan Kester. Join us on Friday, January 17th at 7 p.m. for New Member Shabbat and celebration of grandparents. Help us welcome our new members since July 1st and honor the grandparents in our congregation. And game night will be back on Saturday, January 18th at 7. It's a great way to spend an evening, friends, food, and fun, and there's a flyer located outside the sanctuary. We have 2 fundraisers for our religious school. The first one is Delta Sonic car washes and interior cleanings. You can buy them for yourself or for a gift, and they're discounted. You can purchase them in the temple office. We're also having Super Bowl squares again, and they'll be sold just until right before the Super Bowl game. The Jewish Repertory Theater will be presenting a free reading of Shalom Aish's famous Yiddish play, The God of Vengeance, in a new English translation on Monday, January 13th at the JCC Benderson Building, as well as Monday, January 20th at the Kavanoki Theater. The play is the basis for the Broadway hit Indecent, which will be presented at the Kavanoki Theater in March in conjunction with the Jewish Repertory Theater. The reading will feature Shakespeare in Delaware Park and JRT founder Saul Elkin, and also feature a presentation by the Yiddish Circle of Buffalo. Both performances begin at 7, and you can call the JRT for reservations. We want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. We'd like to thank Mark Nightinger for being our service greeter this evening, and Nancy McGorry from the Temple office for helping with Oneg. Please join us in the social hall for the Oneg and enjoy a champagne toast to the new year.
Realized we had an omission for a name on our list of a recent death, Deborah Fine's nephew. I'm sorry, what is his name again? Craig Adam Kleinman. May his memory be for a blessing. We'll make sure to correct that after services. We're going to conclude with Adon Olam, 625.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Poyetzir Nivra Li'ed Na'asa V'Chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Yiklot Hakol Livado Yilot Torah
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Shabbat Shalom. Please return your prayer books minus the leaflet to the front.